Welcome to Diets or Fattening on YouTube, where I answer questions on Mondays from people in our Facebook group and here to kind of help people get their healthy thin mentality going. Okay, so one of the questions we had was regarding how do you do this when you have a bunch of kids at home? How do you make sure that you can build your healthy thin mentality? Well, it's no problem at all because your healthy thin mentality relies on you eating in response to hunger. And when that is how you're eating, nothing else matters. And if you have kids that are hungry at one time and you're not, so you don't eat and then you eat later, I understand that that may be something we're not used to because we're used to everyone eating at the same time. But think about this. It's a social situation. That's why we like to eat together, to come together, to talk, to connect and all that. And sitting there and just nibbling on a little something if you just really need to feel like you are participating in the food part, although I think you'll get over that, is fine. But wait to actually eat any substantial amount of food to when you're hungry. It is so reasonable and so normal. It is not normal to put food down your body when you're not hungry because you're sitting with other people who are hungry. Okay, your body is yours and theirs is theirs. And you shouldn't be counting on their hunger signals to tell you how to eat. And in the beginning, if you're trying to get your kids to understand this kind of eating, ask some questions like, are you hungry? What do you think might really nourish you right now? Use those kind of phrases, not the fear-mongering that we see from the food industry now, like don't eat that, and well, let's see, you've had a cookie yesterday, so you can't have one today, or all that BS that is flown around out there. No, ask your child, are you hungry? And yes, kids need a little guidance, but if the best guidance they can get is following you, and if you are developing your healthy thin mentality, they will take notice, let me assure you. I want to talk a little bit more about people who've been commenting about how do you do this, how do you do that, very specific questions. But I just want to make the general principle, the general comment that all of this always comes down to one thing, and it's common sense. So I want to show you this ruler. Okay, Homo sapiens came around about 200,000 years ago. So for all this time, we were out there as little people in the nature, in the wilderness or in caves, whatever, and we're like right here. We're right at the very end here, at the very last sliver. That's where we are on the scale of our ancestors, okay? So think about how we ate all this time. And I'm not talking about paleo and all that kind of thing. I'm just saying that if you don't think that deep in the recesses of your body is a lot of instruction on how to survive, you're incorrect. Of course it is. So here we are up here in the present, and we're thinking we can just mess with food and just stop eating, diet, cut out whole food groups, and you're not traumatizing yourself. But I'm telling you, all this history is telling you that when you traumatize yourself by drastic change in eating, that you are under attack. And that's why it never works, because your body fights back. So if you're sitting there thinking, well, I don't know what I should eat today, and well, like I'm thinking I ate too much yesterday, so I'm going to try to not eat as much today. All these things are intellectualizing something that should be from the body. So when you get those questions in your head, like, well, I had this and I'm not sure if I should do this, or stop thinking and go, one question, and I know I say this all the time, but are you hungry? And that is the question you respond to, not the worries of the future, not the regret of the past. It's just getting in touch with your history, letting our, group development, or you should say the way that we've evolved over time, let that in and just go, wait, all this wisdom that was developed over all these hundreds of thousands of years, and I'm just talking about 200,000 years being Homo sapiens, but things go further back, but let's just go right with that. All the development that happened there, we shun when we diet. And it is not going to work, guys. This is way more powerful than Marie Osmond or Oprah or Dr. Oz. No, get here, but with a knowledge of what came before, where you say, okay, my body is going to work best when I respect that I have evolved this way over many, many years. And when I just try to disconnect from that very practical, biological-based drives that I've been given, things are going to go wrong. So always the answer is, always, am I hungry? And I'm not saying to eat like a caveman or any of that. That is not my point. My point is that your hunger is a gift that has survived and is there inside of you. And if you think you don't know hunger, you're just not listening. You absolutely will. Give yourself a chance and respect our heritage, all these years of how we got to where we are. And just because on TV, in this last little sliver of time, you've got someone twirling around saying, this is the greatest way to lose weight. BS. No, it's not. The greatest way to be the weight that is good for you, not weird thin, but a nice happy weight for you, is connecting with your biology, with the weight that you are predestined to be just based on body type. You know, some of us are a little rounder, some of us are skinnier, just like dogs, and we're allowed to be a little different. But you will be in your ideal weight range if you connect your eating with your biology, with your biologically driven hunger. And when hunger is quiet, you delay eating. So just every question I get, which I love the questions, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying, if you're really in a bind and you want to know right now, logic, am I hungry? Yesterday doesn't matter, tomorrow doesn't matter. Am I hungry? Okay? Like, share, subscribe. Thank you.